ABC Wednesdays. Tim Allen and Kat Dennings star in the new family comedy Shifting Gears.
Dad, I'm broke and I need a place to stay until I figure out what the rest of my life looks like.
So, a couple of days.
When his daughter moves back in.
The last time you walked out that door, you looked back at me and gave me a double bird.
I was 18. The double bird was how I ended all our conversations.
The wheels come off.
Can we try to talk to each other like rational adults?
Have you watched the news lately? That's not a thing anymore.
New Wednesdays, 8, 7 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Bored with your boring cardio? Stop pedaling that snooze cycle to Nowheresville and try some cardio that's actually fun. Supernatural Fitness, available on MetaQuest. Isn't that right, Jane Fonda?
Cardio will never be boring again.
Sweat to the beat of thousands of chart-topping songs inside stunning virtual landscapes.
Bet your stationary bike can't do that.
Visit GetSupernatural.com and join the next fitness revolution. Supernatural VR Fitness, only on MetaQuest. Rated Teen for Teen.
Look at this place. It's just a goddamn mess. Andrew, I told you, pick up your magazines. Don't just leave them splayed out all over the coffee table. And speaking of the coffee table, if you're going to put a drink on there, use a coaster. Come on, man. Anyway, if you'll excuse me, it's time for my 2 o'clock walk.
Good riddance. He has been insufferable since he retired. Oh, wait. Does this mean we're going to deal with a listener letter about retirement? Ben, wake up!
Glenn Beck, huh? What?
Does this mean we're going to deal with the listener letter about retirement?
That's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
They say it's better to ask for forgiveness than to ask for permission. So, Ben, I would like to apologize for borrowing your motorcycle, but I know that if I asked you to borrow it, you would never have lent it to me. And while I regret what happened, I do wish to say that quarter mile to half mile before the crash is the freest I've felt, I think, in my entire life. This is the Grawlix Saves the World. My name's Adam Caton Holland.
My name's Ben Roy.
And I'm Andrew Orvidal.
And this is a comedy podcast about bettering your world.
You're the one that crashed my motorcycle.
And then I dragged it back to your house, and I didn't say anything until now on the pod because I consider this a safe space. And I am sorry. Oh. In my defense, I watched most of a YouTube video about motorcycles and how to start them and ride them.
You can't even drive a standard car.
I've gotten better at that. I can't drive one, but I can, move it.
I can't even picture Adam on a motorcycle.
Yeah, imagining him stealing your motorcycle only makes me think of Stuart Little. That's it.
I just picture him getting a hold of it, his legs flapping behind him in the air.
If I was riding your motorcycle, I would have my ass so high up. I'd look like a jockey on a horse. I'd be standing.
Yeah, why would you be your ass off
I don't know.
The seat?
That's the approach that I think I would take to it.
I know, and I get it, but it's
ass
weird.
Up, face down, time to ride.
I'm showing the neighborhood what's up.
Yeah. Just fucking.
It's good to get your center of balance as high off the motorcycle as you can.
Have you ever rode a motorcycle? Have you ever piloted a motorcycle?
No, I haven't. I've ridden Vespas. Do those count?
I mean, sort of. I mean, it's the same idea. Just the clutching is.
I definitely will.
Ben gave me motorcycle lessons in Los Angeles.
Did a fantastic job. We spent a few hours in a parking lot in LA one time, and
and I was like, "Wait, I don't want to die this way," and I abandoned it.
Yeah, but you
How come I wasn't invited?
Oh, you weren't living there. Remember, you would go home and abandon your
good
two
save,
best friends.
Dude. That was a good save.
I don't remember when it was.
Yeah, I think he was probably around.
He was probably around. Andrew, I remember though, you had a blast. You were by the end of it, you were riding in circles around that parking
I was
lot.
really on the edge of buying a motorcycle, but it felt like a real crossroads in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the road more traveled safely.
Yes, exactly. It's
hey, speaking of crossroads at one's life, huh?
Adam, what's happening?
I'm dying. I got a diagnosis that I'm dying, just generally.
You didn't even sound the Ernest's horn first? Well, let's roast him.
Do you think you'll beat the inauguration? Do you think you'll get out of here before he's inaugurated?
Oh, lucky dog.
No, I was saying, speaking about Crossroads, Andrew, we have a listener letter today about a crossroad, but it strikes me that you've kind of reached a crossroad as well. Would you like to share with our listeners what your crossroad is?
Do you want to do some show and tell?
Sure. Yeah. In an audio format.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of you may know, I don't know how deeply we've dug into it on the podcast, but I just lost my hearing in April of last year, most of my hearing. And I finally got some hearing aids. So I've been using my hearing aids. I've been able to rejoin society in person, being able to hear people. They sound so terrible. The hearing aids sound so bad. They sound, imagine hearing the whole world through like a child's walkie-talkie. That's what it sounds like. But
was it nothing before that? Like, was it,
it was just like much diminished. It was like hearing things underwater before, and now it's like hearing things through a shitty walkie-talkie. So you're
yeah, water or frustrating technology. Your choice.
It's frustrating, and I mean I have a bit about this, but the audiologist told me that I would eventually just acclimate to it, which is a sad outlook. Like, it does sound terrible, but you'll get used to it. Doesn't have the positive ring that you might think to it, but your brain basically has to relearn all of the little sounds that you normally just filter out, like the creak of every fiber of wood when you're walking on a floor, every little like hum of the appliances in your house, like they pick up like everything. And so you have to learn
your own breathing as well. Like you're hearing.
Yeah. It's like being on stage 24/7 with a monitor because you hear your voice back, which is really annoying because I don't like any monitor in the mix when I'm doing stand up. So now I'm getting monitor in the mix every waking moment. So it's just learning how to filter out those little sounds and stuff.
Are you starting now? Are you starting to adjust to it at all?
I think I'm starting to filter out sounds for sure. It definitely seems less overwhelming and annoying. Did any of you watch the movie The Sound of Metal?
Yeah, that movie's amazing.
Yeah, it's a great movie, but it's very similar to in that movie when, spoiler alert, that guy gets his hearing aids and everything sounds so like overwhelming and awful. It's definitely like that at first, but it does get better as your brain starts to learn what it should be paying attention to and what sounds are just can be ignored.
How is music?
It sounds so bad.
Does it really?
So bad. Yeah.
Were you just listening to Ben's bands?
Sometimes it's nice just to dribble in and get an easy layup, you know?
That's 2 points. That's just 2 points. That's an easy
fundamentals.
Yeah, just play small ball. Yeah, that's all he's doing.
Hey, don't do anything fancy out there. Just get the fucking bucket.
Yeah, no, it is a bummer. Speaking of Ben's bands, Ben has this new band, Arson Charge, which I really like, or I remember really liking from when I was able to hear them. And they've been playing shows, and I was like, oh, I should go to the show. And I was like, why? So I can judge the stage presence. Like,
oh my
I'm
God,
not going to
can't even imagine what the sound would be like of like overwhelmingly loud music.
It's so bad. Yeah, anything that's like rock music, metal, anything like that sounds especially bad. I've been listening to a ton of jazz because the sounds are very distinguishable.
That's why old people love jazz.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. And also a lot of old jazz recordings, they're already kind of like tinny and like the production of it, you don't the sound through the hearing aids is not as like noticeable as other music.
This is a sort of specific question. Is it tapped into your Bluetooth like it is with my dad? My dad has hearing aids and his phone is connected through him. So you'll be talking to him and suddenly he just goes into a fugue state as he gets like texted or called. And you're like, Johnny, are you
like
here?
A cyborg?
And he just like zones out.
Mine is, back. But it sounds so shitty. I turned it off and I don't use it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can do that, but I turned it off.
It sucks, Andrew. All this sucks, but I do think you should think about what can you get out of this.
What can I extract?
You should get a lady who feels bad for you.
Yes. Yes. You should wander around a loud intersection until some lady helped you.
Cool. This is such a cool like rescue dog philosophy to romance. Thanks, Ben. Thank you. That's cool. That is cool, and that's a perfect segue into our listener letter.
Before we do the segue, I love you, Andrew. I'm glad you did this
Here
for
comes
yourself.
The bullshit Ben Roy heartfelt dismount.
I do love him. I do love Andrew. I know that this was a big step for you. I love you, and I'm glad you're doing this for yourself.
Yeah, I want to do it too. Andrew, I want you to know I love you, and I will be there for you for all of this, even though we won't hang out in person.
Thanks, guys. It really means a lot from both of you. Well, we have a listener letter, which, speaking of hearing aids, this will resonate with them probably better than most.
It's very short, which I love. I love how short this is.
We got producer Ron back at the pod. Let's lower the Ron shield.
There it is, lowering it.
Smooth.
Oh my God, the bees.
I think he had it maintained.
I thought we cleaned out the beehive out of that. Oh, now he's scrambling, and he ran into some of his brass instruments.
Before you speak, remove that ball gag. What were you doing in here?
You guys tried to get rid of the bees. That's my only source of food, you assholes.
Oh, sorry.
You don't
need
know
that
what
honey.
Eats the ball gag.
I need the honey.
You're on the black bear diet,
Happy New Year,
baby.
Hey, bud.
Happy New
How
Year.
are you?
Happy New Year, Ron.
I'm doing all right. I'm doing okay. We have a listener letter. It's technically a listener notepad sheet of paper.
Look, however you got to get them to us. Note, letter, candygram, stripper and a cake.
Ooh.
Just get us your request for advice.
Like the movie Under Siege. Remember that scene? I do. I fast-forwarded it and rewound it to that scene 100 times.
What scene?
No, I don't.
There's a stripper and a cake and Under Siege.
Normally,
on
I
the
want to
boat.
move on, but tell me
The
more.
Steven Seagal movie?
Yeah. There's a stripper and a cake. And they she comes out and there's no party. Like she's like asleep in there or something. And I rewound it many, many times.
I've never seen a single Steven Seagal movie from start.
Oh
to finish.
my
never,
God!
Never, not once.
Maybe we should do a Steven Seagal boy crazy. And
You've never seen the
explore
Grimmel?
his entire body of work.
The Grimmel is the man. Some of his best.
You've never seen anyone get beaten with the business end of a pool cue, or
Yeah, man.
hit.
Dude, it is so
but
cool.
not Steven Seagal.
The way he uses
I grew up in New Mexico. Yes.
in a violent manner, like a martial art that is intended to not hurt anybody, and he's like folding arms backwards, and he says a bunch of fucking weird dog shit. It's the Grimmel is the
any
dude.
scene in a Steven Seagal movie that has a pool table anywhere near it, you know that it's fighting time.
Forget about
that guy is the only martial art that requires a pool table to be within arm's reach.
I would
properly
you wouldn't
used.
think it because I'm so pretentious, but I had 2 years where it was like all Seagal, all Van Damme. I just loved that shit.
Oh yeah,
Van Damme, yes. Seagal, no.
Endless
Seagal
debates
great.
about who would beat who in a fight, and then you
Yeah.
find out later like Van Damme was a ballerina and Steven Seagal
Steven Seagal is a
that's
fraud.
Tai Chi.
But I remember one time I went over to a buddy's house when I lived in Maine. I was like 18. He was wasted, and he was like just sitting there, and he had just finished watching The Glimmer Man. And then he was like, restart the Grimmel Man. And so to me and my friends, he's known as the Grimmel
That's
from
so
now on.
Grimmel
That's
Man.
Grimmel
That's
Man.
amazing.
And it's killed it. Restart the Grimmel Man. And by the way, the Glimmer Man is pure batshit. It's so good. You got to watch
Great.
them. Under Siege is so fucking.
Anyway,
Give it up.
Stupid
I might have to
Cake.
revisit
anyway,
one of the
Singing
damn
Under
movies too while I'm
Siege.
at it.
Take my
Unfortunately,
word for
this note is not from Steven Seagal. I feel like this detour.
Essence of a man.
What if it was a note
Says
from
that
Steven
in one
Seagal and he
movie.
said, I am being held hostage, free me. And that was the help he needed. And we had to go.
Saddle up, boys.
Save Steven
All right,
Seagal.
I'm throwing this letter out. That's what we're doing this episode. You guys are going to give
We're gonna
advice
go
to
rescue
Steven Seagal how to get
Steven
out.
Seagal was over in Russia doing a little bit more ass kissing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he is. He was in Russia.
Amazing.
Yeah, what an asshole. Anyway,
Great.
Anyway,
So this is a question that came to the three of you from our live show at High Plains. This one we decided to go ahead and address for the podcast. So this person is saying they need help with, it's very short, very simple, how to get along with my husband in retirement.
see, this is why what I did earlier was so great. The segue about being at a different point in life, it was because of this. And I knew
Exactly.
it was coming.
Yes,
you
we
know,
had talked about it before.
but the listener didn't know. And so that's my mistake.
And
my
we've
mistake.
practically got a retired person with us now in the form of one Andrew Orbital, born November 3rd, 1926 in Queens, New York. And that's where he was born.
Yes.
And he was it
wasn't even Queens
Even
yet. It was
your
Princess New York
rift
at that
fake
point.
birthday was so boring to me.
He stoked outrage in his family by rooting for the trolley dodgers, which his family didn't understand. They couldn't accept
So
it.
the evening edition down in the Bowery had to take the ferry to work.
And you guys
He
are
works-
like, it's so sad this 98-year-old finally got hearing aids.
That's the whole fucking letter.
That's all there is to it. It sounds like we've got a married couple who have retired.
They don't say anything about married, though, right? We're just implying they're married. They could be.
Husband would imply
Yeah,
marriage.
Andrew.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Context
all right.
clues, bruh.
We don't know the gender of the other person, but we do know there's a husband involved. Perhaps.
So we're gonna they them on this one. Let's
Could
do
be a
that.
mistress. This could be a letter from.
Let's just say it's a they. We don't know.
How
Could
do
be
I
ma-
get along with her husband? That would be a pretty fun way to.
But this
yeah.
person needs our help. They need to survive this household with their partner. And boy, did you come to the right place writing that, because we are basically retired. We're giving up on
We don't
life.
have jobs.
Not really. Not real. Not
really,
really.
that's like the main feature of being retired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not caring about how we dress like Andrew doesn't. So like it's all there. It is all there.
Yeah.
Ben, what are you wearing right now?
I'm wearing a sweater.
Well, this is a record-breaking long act one. Congratulations, fellas. Well done.
I'd like to close the blast shield again. I'm sorry, Ron. In go the bees. The
I'm so
bees go back in.
glad. I'm so glad we put the shield button on the outside.
Yes.
On that note, let's take a quick break.
Sure.
We got to pay some bills with an ad break. If you're listening on Patreon, enjoy no ad break. We'll be right back for you. If you want to check out our Patreon, check it out at patreon.com/Grawlix Saves. We've got veritable shitloads of content on there for you.
Veritable shitloads.
And we'll see you. We'll see you soon.
Perfect.
Okay, I got it down.
Oh, it's such a clutch off-season pickup, Dave.
I was worried we'd bring back the same team.
I meant those blackout motorized shades.
Blinds.com made it crazy affordable to replace our old blinds.
Hard to install?
No, it's easy. I installed these and then got some for my mom. She talked to a design consultant for free and scheduled a professional measure and install.
Hall of Fame son.
They're the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings in the world.
Blinds.com is the GOAT.
Shop Blinds.com right now and get up to 45% off select styles. Rules and restrictions may apply.
Bored with your boring cardio? Stop pedaling that snooze cycle to Nowheresville and try some cardio that's actually fun. Supernatural Fitness, available on MetaQuest. Isn't that right, Jane Fonda?
Cardio will never be boring again.
Sweat to the beat of thousands of chart-topping songs inside stunning virtual landscapes.
Bet your stationary bike can't do that.
Visit GetSupernatural.com and join the next fitness revolution. Supernatural VR Fitness, only on MetaQuest. Rated Teen for Teen.
We are back through the magic of podcasting. Time has elapsed.
Thank my God.
If you are on the Patreon, no time has passed at all. What a smart person you are for being on our Patreon. We have
it's really quantum computing they're doing. They're really learning about time and space agitation.
1.21 gigawatts
of electricity.
That's all the science I need to know.
How
That's
can
all
2
you
points?
need.
It's like event horizon. The shortest distance between 2 points
is 1.21 gigawatts.
Exactly. Giga who?
I mean, Back to the Future was so influential that anytime I hit 88 miles an hour, there's just that briefest moment where you're like,
I'm going to 1973.
From now on, if anyone ever asks me for any amount of anything, hey, how long do you think that'll take? 1.21 gigawatts. I'm just.
Can I ask you guys before we go, because we're gonna before we go,
where are we going?
To do this episode before we go on our journey with these retired people.
Oh, got it.
Let me ask you, just because this kind of makes sense. Any year in your life, you got to get up to 88 miles an hour. It's going to take you to that year right now for a few days. What year is it going to be? Come on, Adam, right off the top of your head. What year?
2000 was a banger. 2000. 2000 ripped.
Were you out of control or what?
I lived in Spain. It ruled. I traveled that year. I lived in New York that year. I had an internship at 2020. It was a fucking awesome year. I loved it. And pre 9/11, there was an innocence. Fucking great year. 2000.
Yeah. Andrew?
Oh, God. Do I get to come back?
Yeah. It's only for...
then I don't even want to play.
Andrew, you go.
I'd go back. Gosh, I don't know. I'm going back to 2016.
Yeah.
Work out those who can't. Living in LA, having a great time.
Fuck you money. You had fuck you money for toys.
Yeah.
I think it would be. I think mine would be close. I think it'd be 2015. That year we did South by Southwest, and then the show was going, and like we were making that first season, and it was all exciting, and.
It's pretty sad to use a time machine to go back to a time within the last 10 years. I'll just say it.
Andrew was different. Our relationship was different. I felt like he cared. He cooked at night.
You know, one of my favorite things about 2000 is I didn't know either one of you.
All right, let's get to our letter. Just to recap, short letter. We can read it one more time. Producer Ron. We didn't put the blast
Hold it up to the glass. I'll fucking read it.
Here it is. He's putting it up to the glass. Ball gag and mouth.
How to get along with my husband in retirement. You're right. It said husband right there. I'm so stupid.
So I won last episode, so I go last. Who goes first?
I'll go first because I just said I would.
Because Andrew went in the middle, I think, somewhere else.
Sure, Ben. I know
Some
you're
other
keeping
time.
very, very strict track of all this.
Okay, last episode we had 5 minutes per advice segment. Since we talked about Steven Seagal for 12 minutes, we have to cut it down to 4.
Let it be known henceforth as a Seagal clause.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be made to feel guilty. The Grimmel Man is he's historically relevant and important. So
all right. I'll go first.
All right.
Let's go. How to
go.
get along with your husband in retirement.
And I'm starting now. Go.
All right. Here's my advice to you. Swing.
Whoa.
Swing. There's no better time.
Just
to swing than being an old retired couple. You already know each other's bodies like a book you've read 20 times. It's you know how this ends. So there's never been, and plus it's trendy. Everyone's all the young people now are in like polycules. They're in these open relationships. Give it a shot. Cannonball into the deep end. Just get out there. Get some new skin in the game.
Fuck. God damn.
Also, but Andrew, and they have all this time to juggle.
You've got
all
nothing
these
but time.
Emotions and
you're probably emotionally somewhat stable at this point because you're old at that point. You can handle it. You can.
Jesus Christ, you just fucking jumped right in, Andrew.
If there's one trait I think of when I think of old men, it's emotionally stable. I'm glad you nailed that.
Well, I think no. Here,
I just meant in terms of like jealousies, the things that could pop up when with younger people with these. You're both like, you know what? We're on borrowed time anyway. We're already retired. Let's just enjoy each day like it could be our last, because that's never been truer. So get out there, find a threesome, find a fuck tarp, and invite 11 other people over and get to work. Ben, you know exactly what a fuck tarp is. Out of everybody on this podcast, you know what a fuck tarp is.
Yeah, but Ben just used an Oakland Raiders blanket he bought on the side of the
highway. So that's my advice. Swing, baby, swing.
So, all right,
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
There. You were 2 minutes and 4 seconds for one of the most vile things.
Vile? What are you talking? This is a sex-positive podcast.
No,
I'm saying get out there.
It's the Raiders blanket
fun.
Thing. That is not.
Oh yeah, that's a bad backdrop for any orgy.
That'll get hard and sticky.
You're gonna have a cursed baby doing that. Don't do it.
It's a real cruster situation on that blanket. We all know the texture of those blankets.
That's the. I don't know. I don't know that it's actually true, but there is that urban legend that the elderly population has some of the highest rates of sexually
Producer
transmitted
Ron is even
infections.
doing the fuck finger in the hole thing right now.
Finger into the hand circle, jammy.
Yeah.
I go whammy.
I'd believe it. Why not? Why not? You know? Why not? All right, Ben, it's your turn.
No, it's not my turn yet. We haven't even finished dissecting how weird that whole thing is. I don't think that jealousy goes away just because you're old. I don't think there's any studies.
I think it's got to simmer down. I think it's got to. You're like, you know what? Why would I be jealous?
I think when you get old, you get more jealous. You get jealous of immigrants taking all your jobs. You just get jealous.
Okay, Adam. We're getting. I think it's like. Did anybody watch the documentary, The Village, about the villages or whatever? That it's in Florida. It's a large assisted living and like elderly community. But I mean, I think there's like 100,000 people that live there. Producer Ron, can you tell us the population of the villages right now? I mean, it's 80,000 horny old people. So that's like just wanting to, you know what I mean? Just blue pill it and fucking rad. Get rad, dude. So
sounds like you're agreeing with me, Ben, and I appreciate it.
Come around to it.
It's not a bad idea.
It's not the worst idea.
Get rad, baby, and swing.
Damn it. That's so fucking good. Okay.
Your turn, Danny boy.
On your marks, get set. Advice.
Wait. It's that quick? I haven't even thought about it. God.
You knew this was coming.
I knew it was coming.
How is that different than any other episode we've ever done?
Right.
Shut up. Shut up. I crushed this. Oh, look at the user polls. And you guys are doing this because you know I'm chewing into my 4 minutes, and that's why you're doing it, right?
Andrew, let's just be quiet.
Don't be quiet. Stop it. Stop it. Stop doing that. Don't do that. Don't, because I don't.
Ben can only form thoughts when he's interrupting someone else.
I know that I have members of my family that are retired, and I am going to go earnest on this one. And I am going to say that you two should create a long-term project that you can do together. My mother and my stepfather built a camp. They worked together to construct a camp on a lake in Maine. And I know that project has kept them young. It has kept them busy. And I really think that.
What about a fuck dungeon? You don't think that's a project?
You got to build
it. You don't think that's going to.
Andrew, you already had your
okay.
I'm just saying. Time, your fucking sick time where you took Nana and Pup and you put them in positions no one should be in. Okay, so I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to give you something wholesome. Start a project. Get invested in something together that you can work on that is a long-term project. Maybe you don't ever complete it, but it's something you both have wanted to do and you get to do together. And I believe wholeheartedly and I've talked about this on one of my albums, that I think that the loss of purpose is the thing that seems to be the most difficult thing that I've noticed for elderly people, is the loss of having something to do with yourself, having some reason to get up every morning. And I think it's the same with relationships. I think we grow in divergent directions, and especially when we're working, and then when you're back together and it's quiet, you don't have that thing. You just sit there and you're like, well, what do we do now? I think finding that thing, that project, that long-term thing, I think that's my suggestion to you all. Honestly, I am going to admit, I'm going to stop the time there. It is second to just get fucking. And I want it the whole time I'm saying all that, Andrew, the whole time I'm saying that, but I'm at the swingers club. I'm this guy. I'm the husband, and I'm just jaying. Oh, I mean, I am jaying. Oh, in the corner. Pop, pop, cock, cock is what they call it. Pop,
stop.
cock, cock.
Stop.
No. And I'm in the corner and I'm watching another skin tag festooned raisin of a human being just fucking going whole hog on the woman I've loved since the Carter administration.
Too soon. Too soon.
I'm telling you, even old Jimmy Carter was known to go mouth and butt on the neighbor's wife once in a while.
Why do you think he was building all those houses? He needed a place to fucking get it done.
That's it. He was building little fucking hideaways, little tuckaways where he could have his little.
We could keep a piece where he could keep a piece.
a side piece.
Jimmy Carter's side piece.
So far right now, Andrew is fucking get into swinging, get into the lifestyle as it is called. Mine was to
build a birdhouse,
a big one, and then fucking it. Adam, you are up, and God, what do you do when the big two are taken? You got to throw a Hail Mary.
Well, you
Does he have the
read right
ability?
from the site. Welcome to Latitude Margaritaville. 55 plus active retirement communities in Florida and South Carolina. A collection of retirement communities inspired by the legendary music and lifestyle of Jimmy Buffett, built on food, fun, music, and escapism.
I want to retire. Fuck, this sounds
Find
awesome.
your new home in paradise. Minto Communities in Margaritaville welcome you to Latitude Margaritaville. Explore our locations in Daytona Beach, Florida, or Water Sound, Florida, or Hilton Head, South Carolina. Where else would you want to live besides those three places anyway? So I think you pack it up, you sell it. Look, these properties start at $300,000. There's low HOA fees. There's no CDD fees. And I think it's just sort of
what's a CDD?
I don't know, but it says
this
it on
is
the
one
site.
of our podcast's biggest
doesn't
sponsors.
matter what they are because they aren't there. I guess
There.
I don't know
You
why
have to
I
pay them,
asked.
so who
There's
gives
none
a
of them.
fuck? Don't even think about what they are. Doesn't matter to you guys.
Cum dump disposal. CDD fees are cum dump disposal from all the
Andrew,
swinging
my
parties.
God,
I don't
who
know.
is this guy?
I look
You
at
know,
these.
now I get it why you don't like it when I do it.
Yeah.
I see it now because I haven't been on this side of the fuck tarp ever, and now I'm on the drain side. Normally, I'm on the drop.
Yeah, the floor is a little canted, and when you're on that side, it's a lot of fluids.
I admit it. And I'm sorry. I am so fucking sorry, guys, for everything I've done. When someone two-way streets your ass and fucking just throws that right in your face, you're like, but is that what it tastes like? And I'm so sorry.
Two-way street.
And Adam, you still got 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and I'm so sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
I figure the apology comes now.
Yeah. No, I'm 44 and I'm so fucking tired of the rat race. So I just feel like these people are even more exasperated. And I don't know, just get on island time with your husband right now. Spend your waning days listening to the worst music on the planet with the worst people on the planet in golf carts.
All right. So
our DTF after dark.
And Drew.
At 4:30. 4:30 is when
Drew. You are so thirsty this morning, and no one can figure out why.
Because he can hear everything, and he's excited to fuck again. He's been out at sea, and now he's in a weird machine that sounds like a kid's walkie-talkie, and he wants to fuck.
Oh my God, I'll tell you one thing. I would never fuck wearing hearing aids. Trust me. You do not. There are some sounds you don't need
Really? You
amplified.
don't like those sounds? I think they're great sounds.
It's like the sounds beneath the sounds.
The sounds beneath the sounds.
I'm taking them off.
That's like a lost Brian Wilson fucking 20 disc
Adam, so you're why
the two
first
of them
all,
need to move to Margaritaville, which
why
is
do three I would say that the vast majority of your advice lately has involved people moving. There's a lot of you telling
don't
people
psychoanalyze my advice. I'm helping them. This has nothing to do with me wanting
It sounds like you are getting some kickbacks from Margaritaville.
This has nothing to do with me wanting to move and get out and get away from here. Wait, so your advice is for them to just pack it up, head on down to what's it called again? Margaritaville.
How could you possibly have forgotten?
Oh, changes
Latitude,
in attitude, changes in latitude.
Right, and these are legit. These are real retirement communities where like-minded parrot heads.
Can I just say
out.
that Jimmy Buffett had a couple bangers? And I don't care what anybody says. Come Monday is a beautiful song. Come Monday, I'll be holding you tight. I've spent 4 lonely days.
Hey, want to hear a cool story? First time I ever did cocaine, Jimmy Buffett concert at the Fleet Center in Boston.
That's not true.
That is so insane.
That's something my
100%
dad
true.
would say. What the fuck? Is that true? Tell us, wait, real quick.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The first time you ever did cocaine was for real.
Jimmy Buffett.
Who were you with?
Boston.
We went up there from
Nobody.
Yeah, by myself. By myself. No, I went there. I was a freshman in college, and like my friend lived in Boston. He's like, we can stay at my parents' place for the weekend. They're out of town. You want to go to this concert? And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. And a couple of us went up there and did some fucking coke and went to Jimmy Buffett. And I hated it.
Oh my God.
The cocaine or the Buffett?
Loved the coke. Did it for a while. Hated the Buffett. Never went to another show.
The cocaine is not something that often pairs
associated with Jimmy Buffett.
You had a bad drug sommelier at your table. I'll tell you that.
Listen,
right
when
now.
you're
Drinking away.
you're an 18-year-old in the big city, you do everything you can do. You know what I mean?
Oh, I should also say
the
cocaine.
image of someone just getting fucking zooted on coke with fucking Jimmy Buffett playing
the fucking Fleet Center.
Insane. It's fucking insane.
You're
All right,
just-
we're gonna fucking do this or what?
you just like 50 rows back, jawing, just being like, when's he going to play Margaritaville?
Math does stink.
Oh, God. Man, that is funny. Although cocaine does go well with Boston. You nailed that pairing.
I found cocaine goes well with everything.
Well, that was okay. So,
move to Margarita.
Man, I want to change my answer.
Do coke.
Yeah, I was going to change it to you two should do drugs together.
No, you
Well,
got to
that could
keep
be your
your
act
answer.
four
It's the only-
advice.
It's the only earnest one. We got to keep your answer.
Oh, fuck. All right.
All right.
Well,
So
I
we've
guess I
got 3 easy ones, easy to encapsulate. Swing, find a project, move to Latitudes by Margaritaville.
And there are 3 locations.
Yes. Okay.
Let me rephrase that because swing sounds like you just become a swinger, become sexaholics, fuck everything. That's a great one.
In
Andrew.
defense of my suggestion and my advice, I think it kind of dovetails with Andrews. I think if you move to Latitude Margaritaville,
Can you imagine?
D-sods.
It's probably on the calendar, shuffleboard, orgy. It's like right there on the activity sheet.
Yeah, that's fucking
golf cart maintenance.
Yeah. The golf cart maintenance class. I've got a 4 o'clock golf cart maintenance class, and then I got a daisy chain at 8 p.m. that I cannot miss this weekend.
I don't even know what a daisy chain is.
A daisy chain, I'll tell you what it is. It's when Ron's giving me the waving me off.
Tell me
waving me off.
Some things are better left to the listener's imagination. They can Google it at work.
Just imagine
and
everybody
have a visit to
laying
HR.
on their sides, servicing each other with their mouths in a chain. Like you would hook
servicing. What a
servicing.
Right, it's time to vote.
Like I take my car down to the fucking garage. All right. I'm voting first. Gosh. I hate Jimmy Buffett's music so much.
Yeah.
I'm voting Ben. I do think that having interested projects is great. And just because you don't have a day job by no means doesn't mean you can't be creative and do stuff. The three of us are examples of that. We might not have gainful, regular daytime employment, but we still create stuff. We still have projects we work on. We do things. And I hope that I will always be able to do that and be able to work on those because it does give my life some framework and meaning. So I'm voting Ben. Ben?
Wow. Well, all right. Damn, this is hard. I got to say, because I wanted my answer to be drugs and I want to change it, I think they should start doing drugs together. And I think that's a great way because a lot of people who form addictions do stay together, despite what everybody wants them to do.
And drugs famously make for a stable and even relationship.
No one cares if it's stable. There's not a lot of time. We're talking about how do they tolerate each other?
And I think junkie couple.
But since I can't do that, the closest drug to me would be some good old grade A fucking. So I'm going with Andrew on this one. I think you guys should start exploring everyone else's bodies together.
Every nook, every cranny, of which there are hundreds.
One could even make an argument that swinging could be the project you're working on together. And I think that that's a great idea. So I am going to vote Andrew. I think that's terrific advice.
Get your polycule rocking.
Yes. Never mind. Go ahead, Adam. I lost the riff partway through it.
It's all right.
As you know, riffs are delicate.
Yep. Slipped right out of your hand. Fuck. Back in the water.
You were like that raccoon washing the cotton candy in the water.
Thank you,
it's
Andrew.
a popular video. Those.
Andrew, in language and in society, we rely upon a certain trust of experience that one may or may not have had, and to just assume everyone has seen the video.
In my friend group, that video is part of our language. I guess you guys aren't part of it.
All right, moving on. Next, Adam, who do you think won this one?
I love what Andrew said. It's funny. It was fun. But I think the only practical advice here outside of mine, which I think is strong, is Ben's. So I am also voting for Ben as the winner. I think that is a good suggestion for our listener.
I don't want to win on an earnest one. That's not how I wanted to
win
take
on an
the
earnest
W.
one, but
sometimes you play it straight and you win. Well, I'm bummed, but it was good advice.
I think elderly immune systems cannot handle the amount of STDs Andrew is
that is ageism.
They are not diseases, they're infections. Disease comes with stigma. Sexually transmitted infections. Okay? That's all anyone's asking.
I wish I was in the year 2000 where you could call it STDs and not get attacked.
I'm going to take
and say the R word again.
I'm going to take the Escape to 88 miles an hour on my street. Could you imagine trying to get
gigawatts?
Could you imagine trying to get your car up to 88 miles an hour on your street?
I got a short little street.
I know it's a tiny little street. Wow. Well, that was great. But can we all just agree? I mean, yes, you voted for me. I get it. I won that one. Let's chalk it up for Ben again. But can we agree that Andrew's
for you? I wouldn't say again like that.
Actually, according to user polls, you both are just spiteful.
User polls
you sound like Trump.
You do.
Enough with the user polls.
Oh, I'm a populist. and that's a problem. Okay.
I mean, okay. Let's never mind.
No, is that a problem? Question mark?
I think it is globally.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but Andrew's was great. But you should take all of ours. Move to Margaritaville. Start a project that is swinging.
Love
and
it.
that
There
I
you
think
go.
when you,
That's the trifecta.
and that's how you daisy chain all of them. Each advice sucking off each piece of advice in a chain, so everyone gets pleasure.
Let's listen to some comedy, and we'll be back with the third act soon. We are going to play a clip from our very own horn dog, Andrew Orvidal.
Hold on, let me make his signature sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I
good.
couldn't.
Very good. Andrew has a special out right now. It's called Doom Math. It's so damn funny.
It is so fucking good, Andrew. And I hate saying it because you know I don't like you, but it is very, very good.
So it's available everywhere, Andrew. Where can people get it?
Anywhere that you would like buy or rent a comedy special, Apple, Google, Amazon Prime. You should be able to buy or rent it there.
So go out and buy or rent it and watch Andrew's comedy before this dude explodes from horniness.
Stop.
Are you horny?
Stay tuned.
Getting older. I'm in my 40s, obviously. I think one of the worst things about getting older, it's not when your knee turns into breadcrumbs or you hurt your back sleeping, although those are both terrible. I think one of the worst things about getting older is when dumb shit makes you cranky. Because then you feel old, right? You're like, oh, this dumb shit is making me cranky. It's like irritating me. But I feel like I could be part of the first generation who's kind of right about the dumb shit that's making them cranky. Look at what used to make old people cranky. They'd be like, rock and roll, I hate it. Or like, a baseball cap indoors, you're making the president cry. Like, what? Shut up, you weird old fuck. Whose rules are these? But shit nowadays is kind of dumb. TikTok, Post Malone, electric unicycles, that shit's dumb. I'm sorry. And if that makes me old, I could not be happier to be old. Fucking age my ass up, baby. Hand me the wrong chalice at the end of Indiana Jones. I'm ready to go. Turn me into dust. Yeah, that's even an old movie reference. I know some of you clenched up when I made fun of precious things like TikTok, but let's look at this stuff. Like, all social media is pretty dumb. We can agree on some level, but TikTok is like another level of dumb. Some of you are old enough to remember something called public access television. Do you remember public access television? Public access television was TV that anybody could make. If you're just like a weird person who wants your own show, come on down to the studio and you can have your own show. What's the show? It's Craig's Succulents. It's a guy named Craig showing off his succulent plants. By the way, this is the set of Craig's Succulents. I had brought in special just for this taping. It was hard to get. But TikTok is like public access TV, but you don't even go down to the studio. You're just sitting in the driver's seat of your car pretending to be a doctor. It's terrifying. And Post Malone, like, I've heard Post Malone is a cool guy. I've heard he's a nice guy. But that dude isn't even 30 yet, and he got always tired tattooed on his face. Just you wait, my good bitch. Just you wait. Oh boy, if you think you're tired now. That dude's gonna be in his 50s, and that shit's gonna have dribbled down his face like a spooky Halloween font in one of life's cruelest lessons.
Whoa! We are back. I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to do it FM style. We're coming in off of a hot break. That was a 311 rock block. That was 311 songs uninterrupted. And what a great...
Oh my God.
I would love that.
I would no longer be alive.
I'd fucking love it.
Third actors, welcome back. You missed a horny episode for the first
horniness
2 acts.
coming from Andrew, which is a new direction. Everyone's like, Ben's the horn dog.
It was not horny. It was just clinical business.
It's like hearing
purely clinical business.
It was like hearing the cat bark. You don't hear that a lot. You don't get that a lot.
Well,
and
that
you're
cat's
like,
so horny. He's barking over there in the corner.
Did that just come out of the cat? But it is cool that Andrew got horny this episode. And what a fun episode.
Yeah, that was
and
cool.
A big thank you to our anonymous advice seeker for reaching out to us. You came to the right place, as you see. Enjoy Margaritaville. Enjoy your neighbors.
And enjoy it safely.
And enjoy it unsafely, Andrew.
Just kidding. You're on the way out anyway. Unwrap that package.
Thank you. Thank you. It's crazy talk when you try to get them to wrap it. They're not going to wrap it. There's no need. Fuck free. Fuck bareback. Do it all. Anyway, a big thank you to those folks, and a big thank you for Andrew for not having a sip of water all week and coming in thirsty as they come. And that was a ton of fun. Andrew, your voice isn't too dry, is it, to be able to crank the song out?
Not for the plugs, baby. Plugs.
I will start the plugs out. I would like to plug my show at Comedy Works on Wednesday, January 29th. Downtown Comedy Works, killer lineup. Andrew Orvidal's on the show. BK Sherrod is on the show. Rory Scovel's on the show. It's going to be a burner, and I'd love to see you guys there.
Wow, it's going to be a great one. We should pack it out.
That is a lineup.
It's a lineup. Downtown rules. It's going to be very fun. Then the following day, we're doing our movie night show, the January 30th. Rory, Ben, and I are going to do the first one at the Bug Theater, where we riff over movies, Mystery Science Theater 3000 style. It's going to be so fun. Get tickets to that.
Oh, these shows are ridiculous. They're so good. They're so good. Andrew, what do you got? You got anything you want to plug?
Yes, the 2025 season of The Narrators is about to kick off. Usually it's always the third Wednesday of the month, but it's postponed this week to the 22nd, Wednesday the 22nd at Bumpart Theater. This is a storytelling show that I do with our own producer, Ron, and Aaron Rollman here in Denver. It's pay what you can for tickets. It's an amazing show. We'd love to see you there. The lineup of topics for this year is really great, and I'm excited for these shows. So come out. Check out The Narrators.
Ben, what you got, buddy?
Well, I'm excited for all of those shows you mentioned. I would go to check out every one of those shows. I do want to plug this. We are doing the Grawlix, as they mentioned, but that same evening after the Grawlix, if you can, you should sprint over to the O. The Oriental Theater was previously what it was known as. The O Theater, my band Spells. We will be opening for the amazing Ted Leo and the Pharmacists.
Oh, it's amazing.
And even more impressive about that show is that is the 20th anniversary of Shake the Sheets, which is like
that album.
That album is so friggin' good, and it's the 20th anniversary, so you know they're going to be banging a bunch of tunes off of that, plus Spells with them. So I'm going to be pulling double duty. I'm going to go to the Grawlix, and I'm going to race over. And I believe you should be able to make it to check them out afterwards. So get your tickets now for that show.
That's amazing.
So it sounds like we're all busy AF, as the kids will say.
Show for show. But I'm not too busy. I'm not too busy to take a crack at the credits.
I would love to see you do
you're
this.
You're going for speed?
Let me
think
so many
about
times.
it real quick.
You fucked this up so many times.
Okay. Yeah, let's go for speed.
Oh, boy. All
right, hold on. I'm getting my clock out. Everybody's ready.
Whip your clock out, dude.
Dude, what has happened to you? What has happened?
You don't like it? You don't like your own medicine fed to you one spoonful at a time.
I make my medicine for other people, not to suit my own taste.
You got to stop making your own medicine.
You can choke on your own medicine.
I make my own medicine. If I were to make my own medicine, it'd be a lot sweeter. But I don't. I make it salty for other people.
Okay, I think you're done. You can go ahead and downshift and coast into the breakdown lane. All right, Adam, I've got my stopwatch out here.
I've got it too. We're going to go double time just to see if we can do it.
Count me down with a 3, 2, 1.
Olympic style.
Here we go.
Clock.
3, 2, 1.
Go.
Thanks to producer Ron Doyle. Our live show is recorded by Mike Henderson. Charlie Continental does the theme music. Follow us on social media at Grawlix Comedy and support us on patreon.com/Grawlix Saves. /Grawlix Saves. Fuck.
Oh, that last stumble, dude.
Correct. You would have beat the record had you not stumbled it. You got 9 seconds.
I feel
9.48.
exhausted. I
want to add.
I want another crack at it next week.
I want to add one more thing to this. Listeners that are tuning into this right now, all of you, we want to give you advice. We love giving you advice. Please send in your questions. Please send us anything you want to talk about. You have something going on in your life. You need advice. You want to hear us yuck it up about it. We go earnest. We go fucking crazy and riff and gaggle and goof about it. We're crazy in all directions. We're very versatile. Please send in your questions. We will keep them anonymous should you want them to be. All you got to do, send us an email, info@thegrawlix.com. Just send us a message and we would love to give you advice. Otherwise, that's the episode. And word is we're going to be back next week with another one.
Holy shit.
I don't even know.
Holy shit.
I don't even
like it.
Guys, I don't even know. But first, I'm going to go hose Andrew off in my backyard for a little while because he is a dirty boy. He is dirty. Play us
Gross.
out, Charlie.
Don't get near me. All right, 5-minute limit per person.
Can I campaign for cutting it down to 4 for this
I
one?
can't hear you. I can't hear you through the ball gag. Sorry, Ron.
No, can I suggest cutting it down to 4?
Ron, you rock hard. Jesus Christ.
That's perfect. Insane.